Award-winning author and very talented storyteller Steve Reed is here today to help take us back in time for a closer look at the resurrection of Jesus Christ as told by James, Jesus' earthly half-brother.
I remember that day as we were entering Jerusalem for the Passover celebrations. I remember the crowd was huge. They were so excited to see Jesus, some of them for the very first time. And as we went on through the week, the crowds just continued to swell. And then I remember Jesus calling all of his disciples, his close followers, to that upper room and watching Jesus as he humbly bowed down and washed the feet of his disciples. And a little while later, he mentioned that somebody would deny him. And Peter boldly stated that he would never deny Jesus. And Jesus just looked at him and said, "Simon, before the cock crows, you will deny me 3 times. He gathered us up and he took us out to the Garden of Gethsemane. And as we got into the garden, Jesus told some of his disciples to stay behind and pray for strength. And he asked Peter, James, and John to go a little bit farther forward with him. And Jesus went on still a little bit farther. You could hear the anguish in his voice as he was crying. He's crying out to God, "Father, let this cup pass from me, but not my will, yours be done." There was a group of people, a crowd that was coming towards the disciples and Jesus. There were temple officials, there were guards, there were Roman soldiers, but they were led by Judas. And they walked right up to Jesus. Judas put his arms on Jesus' shoulders and kissed him on the cheek and said, "This is the one you're looking for." After a couple of hours, I realized Mother needs to know exactly what's going on. I found some of her friends, and they told me that she was staying out with Mary and Martha just a short distance away in Bethany. So I went out there quickly. Lazarus came to the door when I knocked, and I saw Mother sitting there. She had a huge smile on her face, and I told her, "Mother, Jesus has been arrested." Her demeanor changed completely. She started to sob. She says, "I knew it, I knew it, I knew it." I said, "Mother, what are you talking about? I knew he was going to have this happen." Well, it was late in the day. We were tired. I tried to get some sleep, but I tossed and turned. The next morning I got up and I was trying to be as quiet as I possibly could. As I'm heading out the door, Mother saw me and she says, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, Mother, I'm going back into Jerusalem to see if there's anything I can do for Jesus." She says, "I'm coming with you." I said, "Mother, it is not safe. You need to stay behind." She says, "Don't argue with me. I'm coming with you." Next. I didn't know what to do. 39 lashes. And my brothers survived it. Most men would have killed them. They untied him, he fell to the ground. And about that time, 2 other soldiers came in, and they had these huge crossbeams, and they just threw it down at his side. And they told him to pick it up and carry it. As we start walking away, Mother says, "Please take me back to Bethany." So off we go. We get to Mary and Martha's home and we knock on the door. Mary is standing there. Mother can barely walk in 3 steps and she collapses on the floor. Mary looks at me and says, "What's happened to you?" I was covered in blood. My robes, my garments were torn, were cut. I guess I got closer to those Roman guards and the temple officials, closer than what I thought. And I remember this one time Jesus came back and he was sharing things from the prophet Isaiah. And Isaiah said, "Oh, we like sheep have gone astray. Like a lamb before the slaughter, he stood there silently. By his stripes you were healed." By his stripes you were healed. What in the world did Isaiah mean by that? By his stripes. Wait. When they scourged him, they left stripes on his back. We got to where the disciples were hiding. We go in, and the women start sharing the things that they had witnessed. I start sharing some of the things that God had revealed to me. And all of a sudden, Peter and John take off running to go to that tomb. John gets there first. He's looking inside, and Peter runs right past him inside the tomb. He picks up those burial cloths that are soaked in blood, in Jesus' blood. They dropped those burial cloths. They turned and they ran back to the disciples. And when they walked in the room, they described exactly what they had seen. Mary needed more. She wasn't sure what they had done with Jesus' body. So Mary takes off and she heads back to the garden.